Hey Falcon fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into today's Falcons News and Rumor video. Before we jump into the latest news and rumors, make sure you guys are a subscriber because we have another mailbag video coming up in the next couple of days. So if you are a subscriber, use the hashtag Falcons down below in the comments section to ask your question. And as you saw last weekend, more likely than not, your question will go ahead and be polled and produced and shown in our upcoming Falcons mailbag video. But again, gotta make sure you guys are subscribed in order to get in on the action. So go down below and hit the red button. All right, jump to the latest Falcons news and rumors, and let's start with something that happened, not just recently, it's been happening the past couple of weeks, and that is the Isaiah Oliver position change, but no one's talking about this. So try and break it down for you guys here on the channel today. So there is, of course, multiple reports and sources from Falcon OTAs saying that the Falcons have moved cornerback Isaiah Oliver to the free safety position, which you look at the current free safety depth chart, and we'll show you that here in just a second. It's a weird move, right? And that's not just people seeing it at OTAs. The Falcons themselves on their Falcons website have posted about how, here's a picture of free safety Isaiah Oliver versus here's a picture of cornerback Isaiah Oliver. And so even though you can technically still play him at nickel because he plays very well at nickel cornerback, they might be moving him all around the defense. And it's an interesting news story that, again, locally here in Atlanta, people are not talking about from a defensive perspective. Here was FanSided in terms of their article on Isaiah Oliver, giving a little more details on the situation. We'll throw it up here on your screen right now. Quote, what evidently has come out of nowhere, Atlanta Falcons have moved cornerback Isaiah Oliver to the free safety position, at least for now. On the Falcons website, they posted a series of photos from minicamp of the players. If you look at the picture 66 and 67, it says Atlanta Falcons free safety Isaiah Oliver, number 26. Remains to be seen if this is a permanent transition or if the Falcons are just trying to test him up top to make him more versatile. No secret that Dan Quinn was the driving force behind drafting Isaiah Oliver in the second round, 2018 NFL draft. He loved corners that are tall and long, which is exactly what Isaiah Oliver is, end quote. So, the issue that I have here is that if you look at the current depth chart, and we'll show you that again in just 1 second, where does Oliver fit? Like, he's a good player. He's a good tackler. So maybe that's the idea here. He had 70 tackles last year. You go ahead and put him at a free safety position. You can move him at the line of scrimmage. You can move him all around the defense and get him in the open field to go ahead and make plays for you. And that's a fine argument to go ahead and make. But as you look at the current not only cornerback depth chart, safety depth chart as well. We'll go cornerback first. There isn't a lot of depth behind guys like Terrell and Sheffield, and so you're kind of setting yourself up for failure here if you're only going to practice Oliver at the free safety position, because eventually, if Sheffield struggles, and there's no guarantee that he's going to be good this year, I thought he was decent in coverage last year, but still a former fourth-round draft pick, or if you don't like Fabian Monroe there from a backup spot, you might have to move Oliver back to the outside if he's not playing nickel cornerback already. And so it's just a weird move overall that, to me, doesn't make a ton of sense at the moment, but obviously Dean Pease has a better idea of this defense than I do because he's coaching them up every single day. Now, if they do want to go ahead and move Oliver officially to free safety, he's not going to play cornerback at all, then they really need to go ahead and sign a cornerback, because as we just showed you, that Falcons cornerback depth chart is very, very, very bad in terms of the depth behind a guy like AJ Terrell. Like, Terrell, obviously, number one, start, he's going to be great, and the rest is like, okay, let's hope Sheffield's good, and then I guess hope there are no injuries. So I'll give you guys the 4 top free agent cornerbacks that are available right now in free agency. We know Atlanta has about $7 million in free cap space. We'll put that up on your screen right now. Richard Sherman, of course, is a name that I think a lot of people in Atlanta would like to go ahead and get. You can mentor a guy like Sheffield, Oliver, and obviously AJ Terrell as well. The age is an issue there, and obviously playing for a winner is probably what Sherman wants to go ahead and do. And we don't expect the Falcons to be, a 13-win football team, right? Let's just be real here, a 13-win football team. Steven Nelson, to me, would be definitely worth the money. A nickel guy. I think he could be really, really good in the ATL and a good long-term investment. I'm shocked Pittsburgh did not want to go ahead and keep him. And the rest are dinosaurs, right? DJ Hayden, you'll recognize that name, but he's 31 years old. And how about Josh Norman, fresh off of getting stiff-armed to the ground by Derrick Henry? He's 34 years old, and so I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. And so Nelson on the list, I think, makes the most sense. This is not, I wouldn't say, a mega story and Oliver potentially changing positions. I think there's a reporter at Flowery Branch to ask Dean Pease the honest question of what they're going to do with Isaiah Oliver, because no one has asked that yet. But it's something to keep an eye on going into training camp, because the depth at corner is not as deep as you would like it to be. It's very young as well, and so you got to, I guess, rely on the injuries to be not a factor, and also for the guys to go ahead and be good, even though they are very, very young. All right, answer this first question. The Falcons need another cornerback. Like, what do you think? You think they should go ahead and sign a free agent cornerback? If you do, type Y down below for yes. If you do not, then go down below and type N down below for no. Okay, before we're going to keep going here, the Cal Pitts jerseys are still up and on sale right now, and you guys go ahead and rep the Falcons' first-round draft pick all season long with the different sizes and colors of a Cal Pitts Cal Pitts jersey. You got the black, got the white, got the red, and all of it is available right now at chatsports.com/Pitts. So that'll be linked down below me in the description box. This is going to be the hottest jersey, I think. It'll be Matt Ryan jerseys. Can't wear Julio now, and then it'll be Cal Pitts. So make sure you guys go ahead and pick up your Cal Pitts jersey right now. The link is going to be down below, chatsports.com/Pitts. All right, let's jump into some more Falcons news and rumors here as we keep going on today's video. There's a very interesting article by CBS Sports' senior NFL analyst Jason La Canfora on their website where he ranked the 7 new head coaching hires going into 2021. It's a weird time to do it because they all did the ranking whenever they were all hired before the draft, and now it's kind of a look back at the full offseason from La Canfora's perspective on where each coach ranks based on the offseason and now current roster that is, of course, going to be pretty much the same going into the year. Now, Smith, of course, one of the first head coaches hired last year, so you assume that he was one of the more highly sought after, and yet La Canfora has Smith ranked way towards the bottom, which is like, okay, it's kind of weird to do. So, without further ado, let's show you Jason La Canfora's top 5 of the 7 here. I'll tell you the 2 that are not listed. He has Brandon Staley, the Chargers' new head coach, former defensive guy, at number 1. Urban Meyer is number 2. Nick Sirianni from Philadelphia is 3. Dan Campbell is 4 for the Lions. It's like, wow. And then Arthur Smith. So right away, Dan Campbell ahead of Arthur Smith. I mean, geez, the logic behind that is a little interesting. Robert Saleh is 6, and of course, Culley, the Texans guy, he's going to be the bottom. Obviously, that's a disaster organization. But the fact that Saleh is 6 and Campbell is 4, very, very weird by Mr. Jason La Canfora. Now, let's see what La Canfora had to say about this. We'll throw that quote up here on the screen. He says, quote, "Heavy is the head of those labeled a quarterback guru or offensive wonderkind. People expect immediate results. And this owner resisted a full rebuild and kept Matt Ryan around despite giving away Julio Jones for cash cap reasons, which sends an odd signal. They have no hope of immediate success with that defense, and the quarterback is in decline, but the objective seems to win at ASAP despite a horrible cap situation with an aging core," end quote. How about that? I mean, literally, no hope of immediate success, says Jason La Canfora. I mean, goodness gracious. We have to trust. Okay, here's the deal. Let me say this. We must, not have to, must trust in Arthur Smith's offense. I mean, literally, that's all Falcon fans have to hope on in terms of a winning football season in 2021. Because La Canfora is technically right. The defense is not that great. Now, is it hopeless? No, it's not that bad. I mean, they can still be a top 15 defense if everything goes correctly and the corners play better and the linebacker and the pass rush actually happens. A lot of big ifs here. But you got to trust that Smith's offense, and he understands what he's doing. And he can make this offense, sans Julio Jones, actually be pretty darn good here during the 2021 NFL season. And listen, there's no reason why we would believe that it couldn't happen. Now, they should have gotten a running back. Yes, I think they could have maybe added, maybe 1 or 2 in the NFL draft in terms of helping out the run game. I think that's my big problem with the offense. But we got to sit back and trust that Arthur Smith knows what he is doing and that he can go ahead and lead this offense to a successful season. Again, for the people who want 10, 11, 12, 13 wins, you got to calm down a little bit. You got to expect 8, 9, or 10 in order to go ahead and just be competitive towards the month of December and into early January. And so I think that's the thought process and the hope here. But as mentioned, I think La Canfora is slightly correct here. The mixed signals of keeping Matt Ryan, getting rid of Julio Jones is a little bit strange, and he mentioned an odd signal, and so we'll agree with that. But the fact that he has him below Campbell of Detroit, that just doesn't make sense for my listing. But again, that's why they write this stuff, and then they make it controversial, and then we talk about it. So here we are here today on today's video. What is your confidence level in Arthur Smith entering the 2021 NFL season? Scale 1 to 10. I'll leave it up to you down below in the comment section. 1, you're not confident at all. 10, you're like, Jason La Canfora is an idiot. He's going to be great. I'll see what you guys think down below. All right, before we go ahead and keep going here, make sure you guys are subscribed. Again, we're trying to grow this channel as fast as possible. So if you're new, you love the Falcons, prove it by going down below and hitting the red subscribe button. Of course, mailbag video coming up as well for our subscribers. Final quick article here by Fansided I want to go ahead and put in front of you, essentially. It has to do on Dante Fowler and the pressure that he is facing going into the 2021 NFL season. Now, he's signed through next season, but the Falcons have an out in the contract, so they could go ahead and cut him if he does not perform at all in 2021. That's something to keep an eye on in training camp and going forward because, again, as Fansided will show you, I mean, Fowler's got to be good this year in order for the Falcons defense to not be terrible, as some people think that's going to go ahead and be. All right, quote, Fansided, here we go. Fowler had a breakout year in 2019 after being traded to the Rams halfway through the 2018 NFL season. He recorded 11.5 sacks for the Rams, and the Falcons jumped at the chance to bring him aboard in 2020. As we all know, he had his worst year as a pro in 2020, recording just 3 sacks and 4 tackles for a loss in Atlanta. Former general manager Thomas Mott signing Fowler to a 3-year, $45 million deal looked to be one of the worst moves made in franchise history. The Falcons have an out after this year. So if Fowler has any hope of staying with the Atlanta Falcons past 2021, has to show out the new defensive coordinator Dean Pease this season. If Fowler can replicate his 2019 season in 2021, then the Falcons defense will take a major step forward, and this is something that we will all desperately want to see, end quote. Oh, man. Okay, very simple. Fowler must be decent. I mean, he's got to be at least 6.5 sacks. Now, 6.5 sacks is not going to get him a new contract in 2021. 8.5 plus would go ahead and keep him into 2022. I meant 2022, not 2021. 2022, right? Next season. But if he has another 3.5 sack season, a 5.5 sack season, it's done. It's done, Skeezy. And if he's having that few of sacks, it means the rest of the Falcons' defensive line is probably struggling as well, which, of course, I would agree the fan side, it is something that we do not want to go ahead and see. So the expectation is high. I think that he is probably going to underachieve and underwhelm, but I mean, just a couple of years ago, 2019 wasn't too long, 11.5 sacks. If he has 11.5 sacks this year, this defense will be top 15 easily, and it'll be a football team that could 9 wins, 10 wins? Who knows? A lot of pressure on Fowler. Hopefully he's going to go ahead and be able to perform. All right, ultimate for today here on our Atlanta Falcons Today video. Again, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as we continue to grow. More subscribers means more videos. And, of course, use your hashtag Falcons down below. Get your mailbag question in for the weekend mailbag. Ultimate for today here on Atlanta Falcons Today. I'm your host, Thomas Mott, signing off the rest of your day.